Well, I caught a cat. He likes meditating with us. He loves the tribe. Anyway, the topic this week, it could be the topic every week. It could be the topic every single day for the rest of our lives. But the topic today and this week is the power of prayer. And we hear about the power of prayer, and most people do pray. And this week, one of the things we're looking at is what is it exactly that we think that we're doing when we're praying? Are we just being robots or automatons? Or are we actually engaging in something that's effective and efficient in the world? So, everything that I'm going to suggest about prayer this week are simply suggestions. The primary suggestion is that we take a look for ourselves and we actually ask ourselves honestly, what is prayer? What am I doing? And am I any good at it? So one of the definitions of prayer that we might look at this week is when we pray, does it work? When we pray for something, does what we pray for, do we have a sense that it actually comes true to fruition? Because it would seem to be a rather waste of time and inefficient to be a praying person and yet continue to struggle with the same problems, the same limitations, the same restrictions forever. That would seem to make us somewhat impotent when it comes to our prayers. And then we hear stories of spiritual masters, avatars, saints, and sages whose prayers are so strong that they can move mountains or heal people or bring sight to the blind, et cetera, et cetera. So there seems to be this radical spectrum of the power of prayer. And perhaps we can honestly say to ourselves, ask ourselves, when I pray, does it work? Another thing we might look at is what exactly are we doing when we're praying? And I'm going to suggest that when we pray, what we're doing is we're actually shaping our own minds, because in any given moment we're living our own mentality. We're living the shape of our own minds. So in prayer, we might say that we're shaping deliberately, consciously, intentionally what it is that our mind is attracting and drawing in from the world at large. If you think about fishing, a fisherman casts out a net. The size and the quality of their net determines what they catch. If we have a mind that's been trained to catch discouragement or depression or self-loathing or fear or anxiety, we're casting that out into the world, and thus we can bring in quite a haul every day of those unpleasant qualities, I guess you might say. So in prayer, we're learning to reshape our minds so that the net that we cast out into the world returns unto us with what it is that we wish to catch. So a process today that you might consider, that I'm going to consider, so that we can actually test our prayers, is on one side of a piece of paper, write down the three most troubling issues in your life, the three restrictions, the three issues, the three things that maybe won't go away. And then over on the right side, write what it is you want instead. And let's begin to apply prayer to whatever it is that's troubling us, because if we're going to honestly claim that prayer has any power whatsoever, if it's not going to clear up our problems once and for all, then we're fooling ourselves. And the scientific atheist people are right in making fun of us for praying, because if we can't fix the biggest problems in our life, if we can't participate in the rearrangement of our life to solve our biggest problems, then prayer is in fact a waste of time. So today you might consider getting out a piece of paper and what are the three things that most trouble you? Is it prosperity? Is it romance? Is it finance? Is it mission? Is it purpose? Is it health? What is it? And write down the three things, and then write what you want instead. And then let's go to work for the rest of this week, and we'll figure out together, we'll get more powerful at prayer and we'll talk about how we're going to shape our mind through the deliberate, intentional, conscious act of prayer, so that rather than continuously catching more and more of what we don't want, we begin to draw into our lives our true heart's desire, because we must truly believe that our higher power wants only the best for us. And if we're not getting it, it's not our higher power's fault. It's our fault for not shaping our mind in alignment with what it is that we say that we want. So that's the assignment. I hope it makes sense. We'll revisit it tomorrow. Looney and I pray that you have a beautiful day.